Hey everybody, so this is a CR125R. Picked this up from a kid off a marketplace not too long ago, about a month ago maybe. And he told me that the last time he rode it was about 3 months before he put it up for sale. So earlier this spring. And he hadn't tried starting it since. And when I bought it, I couldn't get it started. It's kind of one of those deals that was too good to be true. I was hoping that it ran, but I couldn't get it going there at all, like I said. So he was asking I think 700 for it, and I told him if I can't see it pop off, and I tried and tried and tried, that I'm not interested, just because of being a two-stroke bike like this. You don't know what's wrong with the motor. So he told me to make him an offer. I offered him 400 for it, and here it is. But I'm going to tell you, there's no way that this bike ever ran for him, ever. It had no spark at all. It had the wrong CDI in it that didn't match the stator or the coil, so it wouldn't even pop off at all. I had to order a CDI, a different stator, a bunch of parts, a stator drum for it, and finally I got it to start a few days ago, but it just wouldn't rev out right. It would hit the rev limiter at like probably half of what it should have been. So I put a different drum on, a stator drum on it, and that cured the problem. But with riding it, I've found lots and lots of issues, and I'm pretty sure that this bike came in a box. He put it together, couldn't get it going, and gave up on it. But it's got unbreakable levers on it, both sides. The front brake wasn't bled. I had no brakes in the rear. I had to buy a new rear master cylinder for it, right there. What else did I have to do? I had to put all kinds of nuts and bolts in it and tighten up all kinds of nuts and bolts that were loose. The shock was loosened all the way up. Just noticed the other day there's no steering stem nut here. I got one of those ordered. There was bolts holding the back fender on. They were just sitting in there loose, and I've lost those already. The exhaust was just sitting together. Let's see. The rear brake caliper wasn't sitting in its groove. It was just kind of hanging here. Found that out after I started riding it. When I was trying to get it going, the head gasket was leaking antifreeze out on it. So I had to take the head off and the jug, put a new gasket in. I checked the piston, that was good. The ring was good. I found out that the head was warped, so I took a fine piece of sandpaper on top of a piece of glass, laid it on there, and I took that head and I run it around in circles until it was flat, and I put it back on there again, and that solved the problem for that. There's nothing here to hold the exhaust to the motor except for that spring and basically that bolt right there, so I gotta get those parts ordered yet. It's not hurting anything, it's just blowing a bunch of gunk on the motor. There was no air filter. I had to order an air filter for it, but this bike did come with a whole nother bottom end. It came with another set of brand new hand grips, and it came with another set of unbreakable levers and a new chain. That's a brand new front wheel and tire on here. That was on it when I got it. What else? This fender isn't correct for the bike. It's not mounted correctly. Only two of the holes match up, so I gotta get the correct fender for it. It's just sitting and hitting against the frame there. Which ain't a big deal. But after a lot of frustration, I finally got the dang thing running, and it runs out pretty good. I know once you hit the power band on it, you better hang on. She'll go. But all in all, that's what it is. It's like a mid-90s, I believe. He took and repainted the whole frame on it, and for me working on it, I got it all gunked up and dirty. But I don't really care, I guess. The carburetor, I didn't have to do no tuning on that at all, really. Just a little bit of air adjustment. But she's running now. I can come out in the morning after it's sitting and just give her one kick. Only takes one kick to get her going. The other piece of the kill switch is missing, and that's his doings. I'm gonna have to either leave it like that with a zip tie or just order another kill switch so it's got the backing plate on it so I can screw everything down tight. But it was a nightmare. I figured for what I paid for it, I guess, even if it was blown up, I still couldn't go and buy a bike for what I'd have into it. I didn't really need a bike, but sometimes you just gotta have fun. But that's it, the old CR125R.